What's going on, guys? One Chains Gaming back here with another video. And today we are back on the My Team podcast. So this is going to be the first one of season 4. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into it. As always, if you guys like the content or want to see more content, hit that follow button. We are still on the road to 50 subs. And then also, obviously, just kind of keep an eye on it. I tend to do these every weekend. The goal is always Friday. Almost always ends up being Sunday. So just kind of keep an eye out for the weekly update. But with this, so what we'll do is we'll talk about the last cards that came out for Season 3 because they came out after we did the podcast last week. And then we will discuss a little bit on Season 4. I'm not going to go into excruciating detail on each card. That video is already up on the YouTube channel. If you didn't see, it was about a 40-minute video. It was actually pretty long because we did get a lot of content that I wanted to cover. But there'll be a couple other things that I'll kind of briefly mention for you guys really quick. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the last content we got of Season 3 was another 75th drop. So we got Jerry West, Bob McAdoo, Karl Malone. For the real budget, guys, Karl Malone's not terrible. He's obviously missing a couple of badges and things like that. But, I mean, he's probably only about 2 or 3K, I think, when the last time I checked. So, I mean, if you're on a super tight budget, go ahead and grab him. Karl Malone actually tends to play pretty well in 2K. The big talk of this drop, though, is Bob McAdoo. Everybody was really high on him. The thing is, he just has a low 3-ball. So, obviously, if you pair that with coach like Steph, you throw a shoe on him and stuff, he'll have a 70s 3-ball. And he's actually really good. His jump shot's really clean. He's got the jump shot 5, which is the Clyde Drexler jump shot. Actually is not a bad jump shot from all the gameplays I've seen. It looks like he may be somewhat a budget guy that you guys can run until you get more of the RNG rewards that we'll cover a little later. And then Jerry West is just Jerry West. I mean, can't really dunk. Undersized. Good wingspan, though. I will give him that much. And he does have the Jerry West jump shot, but it is on normal. And he has his own SIGs and stuff like that. No dunk packages or anything like that, so there's no point in putting finishing badges on him and stuff. But, I mean, all in all, an interesting card. He does come with Hoff clamps. But yeah, so typical Tuesday drop of nobody really opens packs other than maybe kind of looking at Bob McAdoo. I think his price went up a little bit since then. But he was kind of the more interesting one of the drop. And then for Friday, because Friday was a new season, we did figure out we were getting heat checks. So they did drop the heat check update of all the cards. Obviously, a lot of these cards are going to be super expensive because people are trying to do collections right now. So my advice is if you guys do the challenges that give out heat check cards, I do know they do the daily one instead of a league pack right now. It is a heat check pack. I would start doing that for at least these first couple of weeks just because heat check cards are really valuable, especially if you pull one of the top tier guys. You'll make a lot of MT off of it. I know I'm in the process. I think I got like Rajon Rondo out of mine for and he's going for 5K for a 74. So definitely I would try and do that. If you guys are no money spent trying to make a little MT, I would definitely start kind of looking at trying to get some of these heat check guys and definitely trying to get some of that value. And then obviously we got the big content drop of the season rewards, and then we got a signature series set that had Durant and Clay as the headliners. Kind of some noticeable things I'll go over. I was hoping that they were just going to announce the headliner for tokens. It turns out that Baron Davis is the only opal we got. Last year, if you guys don't remember, I believe it was season 4 last year too. That we got our opal token rewards. We got 3. We got a center, we got a small forward, and we got a point guard, right? So theoretically, we're covering every position based on their primaries and secondaries, right? For whatever reason, tokens over the last couple of years have just gotten worse and worse value. We now have Baron Davis. Don't get me wrong, Baron Davis, if you guys have the tokens and just want to throw it out there, go for it. But like I called on his card, he does have the base dribble style. Base dribble style is not good for point guards. Sure, on a forward, a wing, something like that, the guy that's not going to handle the ball for you frequently, not a bad thing. Damian Lillard jump shot, quick, sure. That's solid, right? But as far as spending 750 tokens, he's just not worth it. He's essentially a slightly improved Damian Lillard that got Hoff into. That's really the only difference in him. Personally, he's just not a guy that will play for me. I'm being very cheap on point guards right now. I've kind of figured out what I'm doing with the lineup, and I might talk about it later. But for right now, it's just Baron Davis just doesn't make sense to me right now, especially since he was the only opal we got, and we've just been sitting on tokens at this point for months. Tony Parker is draft. Nobody's going to play draft because Tony Parker, while sure, his jump shot's fun, it's I think gotten nerfed here the last couple of years. It used to be really, really glitchy the last couple of years, but I think it's actually kind of gotten toned down a little bit. And he can't dunk. He's a 6'2" point guard that can't dunk. He's just 300's not as big of a thing right now in this game. It will be because of one card that I'll talk about later. But all in all, I just don't think that that's necessarily something you guys should grind. Shea for limited will be interesting. I probably won't go for him just because, again, point guard's not really an area of concern right now. I've kind of figured out what I'm doing with point guards. So he's not really a big priority for me. Paul Pierce is collector level, so that's not a big worry about. Level 40 Yao is Mash Man, so obviously people are going for him. I've seen a couple of plays of Pascal. Pascal looks good. Looks like he's going to be playing more center for people than I thought. I initially thought a lot of people would be playing him at the 4. It looks like a lot of people are going for him to play their 5. I'm only about 31 games in on the grind for Pascal. I grinded out about 20 on Friday and just kind of have died down. Haven't really had the motivation to do it, so I've kind of been leaving that off. But the big thing is he does have Hoff rebound. He does have Hoff intel, Hoff box. So I do think he can play center. I'm just kind of surprised that this is the direction that people went as far as centers go. Also, another interesting center that people got is this Maurice Lucas. I haven't gotten him yet. I am level 23 right now and haven't gotten him on any of my boards yet, so I'm a little disappointed in that. But from what I've seen, as long as you put, like, even without a shoe and stuff, he does have jump shot 12, which is the Draymond jump shot. He does have shifty. He's just a better and more cracked 6'9" Draymond Green. A lot of people are playing him at center. I've seen a lot of good things, a lot of good reviews on him. And he's got basically every defensive badge in the world. And most of them are on a Hall of Fame. Like, this guy is a defensive god to play your center right now. So, I mean, if you guys can get him, I would say he's playable. Again, depends on your play style. But in my mind, at least, he's playable. Haven't seen much of Danny Granger, honestly. Haven't really watched many gameplays on him, so I can't really give many thoughts on him. The one man I can give thoughts on out of this list, though, is Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis is a god. So with this, he did get Kemba on quick. His upper's really nice. He does have shifty dribble style. He can play like a secondary/primary ball handler. He's kind of in that Terry Dishinger role for me. I like Terry a little better for, I don't know what it is, but Terry Sigs to me just feel better. But I mean, Reggie's good. He's good. That jump shot's quick. He's got Hoff quick first step. He's got Hoff interceptor, Hoff clamps. The Hoff interceptor, you notice on him, even with only a 6'8" wingspan, you really notice it. He's got Hoff posterizer. Like, the guy is good. So yeah, definitely recommend if you guys. I thankfully got him in 13 games. Michael Redd, I wasn't as lucky last season. I think I played over 200 games and didn't get Michael Redd at all. So I got him in 13 games. I'm actually really excited because he was one of the guys I was really hoping for. I know that shooting guard, small forward position is deep, but he was definitely one of the guys I wanted out of what we got dropped on Friday. Now, to talk about the man that apparently is Jesus, Zeke Russell. So Zeke Russell is 6'5", 6'8" wingspan, 3-point ounces over the top of the key. The man's got good stats, normal stats. Like I said, because I said this when he got announced in the blog. If you guys go watch the video, I said it in the blog. This man would be him. You know why? Because he's from the 1960s and he's a high draft pick. 2K, for whatever reason, with the really, 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 really old guys, like your Terrys, your, when we got, what's his face? When we got Wayne Dembry or whatever his name is, the center dude last couple of years, he's been really, really cracked for no reason. Like, 2K, for whatever reason, just has a hard-on for the really old guys that nobody's heard of, so they want him to make him as god as possible. But you might be thinking, well, he looks okay. He's only got gold defensive badges. Why is he so special? I will tell you why. He has jump shot 3 on quick. Jump shot 3, if you guys don't know, is what Park players are currently using. The Park players, the current Pro-Am point guards, those guys, because it's the fastest jump shot in the game. If you watch people play with this jump shot, if you watch Ty try to shoot around on current gen with this jump shot, he was shooting late consistently because the jump shot is just that fast, even only on quick. Like, it feels like a very quick jump shot, maybe even a little quicker than very quick. And he also has quick dribble style, so he can handle the ball for you. He can be in that Terry Dishinger role. Because this is kind of what I've started to figure out with my lineup is, at least for right now, we don't have good point guards, right? Point guards suck, okay? The big guys are going to be Gary. People are running Magic. People are running Penny. People are running Steph. The new Kyrie that came out. Like those kind of point guards, right? So it seems like your shooting guard or small forward is going to have to be your primary ball handler right now, because it seems like those are the guys getting the SIGs, right? Terry's got Rudy on quick. He's got good dribble styles. Like, it seems like shooting guard, small forwards, at least for right now, until we get other cards, are going to have to be your main ball handler. And you're going to have to run a defensive point guard for now. At least seems like, in my opinion, how this game is being played, right? Another interesting guy, Xavier McDaniel. I doubt I'll get him just because 2K hates being with triple threat offline. But I've always loved Xavier's card. He plays really, really well. He plays lanes really well. Even though it says 7 foot, it's really like 7'5", I feel like. Just because for whatever reason, this man plays lanes phenomenally for me every year. So I do tend to run this card at some point, especially since he's got such a high 3-ball on this card. I definitely thought that was going to be in like the 70s. So the fact that he's got that, he could switch everything. Like this card, all in all, I think is really solid. He does have jump shot 40, which is the Rip Hamilton jump shot as well. So I really like that on him. And then Bailey Howell's got Trey Burke. He's gonna be he's gonna be closer to DeMar DeRozan, if anything. Just probably a little bit better defensively, in my opinion. Joe Johnson is dope. He just unfortunately has no stamina, so he takes 3 dribbles, even with gold handles for days, and he's just exhausted. Like he has no stamina. He essentially needs some sort of oxygen mask put on him. Surge is going to be one of the top tier budget centers for right now. Only about 10K. I would go get one if you're a budget guy. I love the Amethyst Surge that we got at the beginning of the year, and Diamond Surge is dope. He will probably end up playing for me at some point here soon. Kyrie, again, one of the top tier short point guards in the game. It's probably him and then Steph. It's actually probably Steph, him, then maybe Dame or something like that. Steve Francis is up there. Rudy Gobert is a token card. He is an inside center, obviously. Kind of was hoping, I wish Robert Reed would have been a token guy. The other token guy was Doug West, again, at shooting guard small forward, which is a position we have a lot of. Not a guy I recommend just because there's so many other guys out there. I mean, sure, he got jump shot 107, which is Lou Dort's on quick, and he got shifty. But, I mean, I just wouldn't lock in the tokens for him because there's other guys you can get out there for free that just make a little bit more sense. Even some of the guys like Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson's like 70K, I think, when I checked this morning for the unsigned one. And even though he can't really, like, he needs an oxygen mask, he's still basically just as good without locking in the tokens, right? Then we got some Scalabrini. We got Bargnati. A couple more exchange guys. We got PJ Tucker. Yuta actually has 98 on quick, if you guys don't know. Just kind of keep that in mind. He might be a good offline guy for you guys. You get him pretty early in the whatever that's called, the level up system. But yeah, he's got shifty. He gets 98 on quick. So all in all, I think he'll be good for like an offline for the triple threat offline. You can use him as like a more budget Patty Mills kind of thing. But yeah, that is the big content we got. And then as far as kind of like a little interesting side note, we did get dynamic duos. Not anything too crazy. A couple of the ones to keep out for would be probably Sabonis and Victor Oladipo. He doesn't get perimeter defense on the Sabonis card, but I mean, it's interesting. This one is probably the best one we got was Penny and Boris Diaw. Just because it makes Penny have a really good 3-ball and stuff like that, so kind of keep that in mind. He does get Acrobat, does get a couple of shooting badges. I wish he could get clamps is the only thing. It didn't allow him to get clamps at all. I wish it would have at least allowed it as an added-on badge would have been nice. But I mean, with this, he does get a 96 3-ball, so Penny is starting to come back in some people's lineups. Just kind of keep that in mind. Another one here, it's interesting, is Trae Young, Kevin Huerter. Trae Young obviously now gets God-tier defensive. Doesn't really get anything too crazy added here. Hoff bailout. I wish maybe would have like upped his interceptor or something. And then Kevin Huerter, I'm assuming it juices up pretty well here. So yeah, he gets a little bit in the 3-ball. Gets a little bit help defense. Not anything super, super crazy as far as like important stats, but he does get Hoff catch and shoot and stuff like that. That is actually really, really good, especially for him. He's got a quick jump shot and stuff like that. Russell Westbrook here. So Russell Westbrook gets at least a better 3-ball. Wish it would have upped his like steal or something like that. Upped his ball handle, which is nice, but I mean, who really cares? Does give him Hoff posterizer or something to keep in mind there. And then obviously Anthony Davis. The fact that Anthony Davis is one of these suggests that the 75th Anthony Davis is probably pretty soon here. So 88 3-ball for him, 95 driving dunk. Doesn't do anything defensively, unfortunately. Wish it would have helped like lateral quickness. But I mean, he does get a couple of inside badges, which is But other than that, not really anything important. So that would lead me to believe, if anything, I think we get Anthony Davis next week. Just because they've got to start cranking out these 75th cards, and Anthony Davis is one of them. But yeah, I mean, not anything too crazy in here as far as duos go. But just kind of the Penny and Boris one. Start keeping an eye out for that because I feel like that's going to start to become a thing. But yeah, that is really it. Just because I already covered those in detail. But just going to kind of give you guys closing thoughts as far as what the season has brought us. So with Reggie Lewis and stuff like that, it has, like I mentioned earlier, led me to starting to run more defensive point guards. So my new point guards are, I bought Magic for about $60K, the 75th Magic, just because I will probably add a couple of shooting badges to him just in case. And then I did also buy one that had like bronze interceptor on it just to have interceptor on him so I didn't have to go buy it. And then Gary Payton is my other one. And then starting shooting guard, who's basically a starting point guard, is Terry. Terry, I still think is probably the best shooting guard in the game, in my opinion. I mean, Reggie's pretty close. I haven't gotten Kazzy yet, so I can't quite confirm. I think Kazzy might be a pinch better than Terry. I just think Terry gets the better wingspan and stuff, so Terry might actually be a little bit more better. And I might run Kazzy more as like my bench shooting guard because I just don't run my bench as much as I run my starters. But I've got that. We still got DeMar is done, thankfully. It's just the one big thing with this season is it gave at least basically everybody something to do, right? Clutch time, you've got Pascal, you've got Reggie, you've got the unlimited of Danny Granger. Sure, could Danny Granger have been better? Absolutely. But, I mean, it's better than getting freaking Jason Richardson that we got last season. I will take it. Terry sucks. So, I mean, triple threat offline guys, you're basically going for Xavier. Token guys, I mean, tokens are never good. I don't really know anybody that's in it just for tokens. They always play something else. Limited Shea at least will be decent. I think Shea will be good. The fact that he's 6'6" will be a good touch, especially with the tall point guards that we're starting to get. Definitely going to need like Into and stuff like that. The one thing that makes me nervous is they announced his stats already, so he's kind of set in stone as far as what he is. And he does have normal jump shot timing, and we're starting to get that point in the year where honestly I think 6 weeks out, I don't think hardly anybody on anybody's team, unless maybe you're on current, has normal jump shot timing. And then we've got like just triple threat offline's good again. Clutch time again, still things to grind, stuff like that. So I think basically everybody got some kind of mode to grind, right? It's no longer just we're pigeonholed into, okay, you've got to go get Dame, and then you can do limited for kind of a mid card, and then level 40 is kind of mid. Like, at least it gave, like, level 40 grinders have something to do. The unlimited guys have something to do. The offline guys have something to do. Like, there's just stuff in it for everybody, which I think is really cool. But that is my thoughts on it. So I will catch you guys next week with the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.